My beloved child, wait, just for a moment. Something is moving quietly beneath the surface of your reality, and if you rush past this, you might miss the very shift that was meant to find you. There is a conversation, not spoken yet, but already alive. Can you feel it? Not in your ears, but somewhere deeper, like a thought that doesn't belong to you, yet refuses to leave. Like a presence brushing against your awareness, asking for your attention without making a sound. This is where everything begins to change. Because your soulmate, yes, the one your energy has been circling around, even in silence, has reached a point where holding back is no longer possible. But here's the part no one tells you. When truth finally rises to the surface, it doesn't arrive loudly. It comes, quietly, unexpectedly, almost gently, like a realization that feels both new and strangely familiar at the same time. And what they have to share. It isn't just words. It's something that carries weight, something that has been forming over time, shaped by moments you didn't even realize were significant. Pause here. Think back to the last subtle shift you noticed. A change in energy, a silence that felt different, a moment where something almost happened, but didn't. What if that wasn't random? What if that was preparation? Because the truth your soulmate holds is not just about them. It's about you. About how you see everything, how you understand the past, how you interpret the connection that never quite made sense, until now. And here's where it gets even deeper. This big thing they have to share. It may not match the version you created in your mind. It may not follow the path you expected. But that doesn't mean it's wrong. It means it's real. And real has a way of breaking illusions. Gently, slowly, until all that remains is clarity. You see, sometimes we don't need more time. We need the right moment. The moment when everything aligns, not perfectly, but truthfully. And that moment is closer than you think. You might notice it in the smallest ways. A sudden urge to revisit a memory. A random thought about them that feels too precise to ignore. A feeling that something is about to be revealed, even if you don't know what yet. Stay with that feeling. Don't rush to define it, because what's unfolding here is not meant to be forced. It's meant to be realized. And when it happens, it won't feel like a shock. It will feel like something finally making sense. Like a missing piece sliding into place without resistance. But here's the question you weren't expecting. What if this truth doesn't just change how you feel about them? What if it changes how you see yourself? Your choices, your timing, your entire journey. Take a breath, because this isn't just about receiving a message. It's about becoming aware of something that was always there, just waiting for you to notice. And as you sit with this, something inside you is already shifting. Quietly, subtly, almost invisibly. But it's happening. So don't move too fast from this moment. Stay a little longer. Because what comes next is where the meaning begins to reveal itself. Hold on. Don't move past this too quickly, because what you sensed before, it's starting to take shape now. There's a shift happening, not outside, but within the connection itself. It's as if something that was once hidden behind layers of hesitation is now stepping forward, slowly removing its own mask. And your soulmate, they can feel it too. That pressure, that pull. That quiet knowing that the truth they've been holding is no longer meant to stay inside. But here's what makes this moment so powerful. They didn't arrive at this realization overnight. No, this has been building. Through every missed word, every paused message, every moment where they almost spoke, but chose silence instead. And now, that silence has reached its limit. Pause for a second. Can you remember a time when you felt like they were trying to say something, but stopped? When their energy felt close, yet distant at the same time? That wasn't confusion. That was restraint. Because what they needed to say carried consequences. Not negative ones, but transformative ones. The kind that doesn't just change a conversation. It changes direction. And now, they're standing at that edge, where holding back feels heavier than speaking out, where silence feels louder than truth. And this is where your role becomes important. Because without realizing it, you've been preparing too. Every experience you've had recently. Every moment of reflection. Every question that didn't have an answer. They were shaping you into someone who could finally receive this truth without fear. Let that sink in. You weren't waiting. You were becoming ready. And here's something even deeper. What they are about to share is not just about what they feel. It's about what they understand now. About the connection. About the timing. About why things unfolded the way they did, even when it didn't make sense. And when this reaches you, it won't feel like something new. It will feel like something confirmed. Like a quiet voice inside you finally saying, "This is it. This is what I was trying to understand." But listen carefully. This moment isn't just about hearing them. It's about seeing clearly. Because sometimes, the biggest truth is not what someone says. It's what it reveals within you. A perspective shift. A deeper awareness. A realization that changes how you interpret everything that came before. So don't rush ahead. Let this unfold at its own pace. Because right now, you are standing in a rare space, where clarity is about to meet emotion, where understanding is about to meet experience. And when those two meet, everything changes. By the way, if something in this moment is already resonating with you, if a part of you is quietly saying, "This feels true," you can share that feeling, or even express it in your own way below. Sometimes, putting it into words helps the realization become even clearer. And if you choose to stay connected to this journey, you'll notice how each moment begins to reveal more than the last. Now, come closer to this next thought, because the truth they carry, it isn't just about the past, it's about what happens next. And that is where everything begins to shift in a way you didn't expect. Wait, just a little longer, because this next part isn't loud, it isn't dramatic, but it changes everything in the most unexpected way. The truth your soulmate carries, it's no longer just forming. It's ready, not perfect, not rehearsed, not even fully understood by them at first, but real. And when something is real, it doesn't need to force its way into your life. It finds you, quietly, at the exact moment when your mind slows down enough to finally see it. Now listen closely. Because what they are about to share, it doesn't arrive as a grand confession or a sudden declaration. It comes in fragments. A sentence that feels heavier than it should. A look that lingers just a second longer. A moment where everything pauses, and something unspoken finally becomes visible. And in that moment, you'll feel it. Not confusion, not doubt, but recognition. Like your soul saying, "I've been here before. I just didn't understand it yet." Take a breath. Because this is where the shift truly happens. Not when they speak, but when you understand. Because their truth, this big thing they've been holding, was never meant to overwhelm you. It was meant to awaken something inside you. A new way of seeing, a new way of feeling, a new awareness that changes how you look at every moment that led you here. And suddenly, things that once felt unclear begin to align. The silence makes sense. The distance has meaning. Even the delays feel intentional. Not mistakes, not missed chances, but necessary steps that shaped both of you into who you needed to become, to reach this exact point. Let that settle. Because this realization, it's not about them proving something to you. It's about you seeing clearly, without needing proof anymore. And here's the part that transforms everything. Once you see this truth, you can't unsee it. It changes how you respond, how you feel, how you move forward. Because now, you're no longer reacting to the past. You're understanding it. And when understanding replaces uncertainty, something powerful happens. Peace. Not the loud kind, but the quiet, steady kind that stays. And from that space, your connection shifts. Not because something new was created, but because something hidden was finally revealed. Now pause for a moment. Ask yourself this: if everything suddenly makes sense, if all the confusion fades into clarity, what would you feel? Relief? Calm? A quiet strength you didn't know you had? Hold on to that feeling, because that's the direction this is moving toward. And as you stand here, right at the edge of this realization, something inside you is already choosing how to respond. Not based on fear, not based on doubt, but based on awareness. So don't rush this ending. Let it unfold, naturally, because what your soulmate has to share, it's not here to change you into someone else. It's here to reveal who you've been becoming all along. And once you see that, everything you feel about them, about this connection, about your journey, begins to transform in the most unexpected, yet undeniable way. Pause, just before you step forward, because this final moment, it isn't an ending. It's a quiet arrival. Something has shifted now. Not outside, not even between you and them at first, but within you. And that changes everything. Because the truth your soulmate carried, it didn't just reach you, it met you, at the exact level of awareness you've grown into. Look at how different this feels from before. Earlier, you were searching, questioning, trying to piece together meanings from fragments. Now, you're seeing, without forcing, without chasing, without needing every answer to be explained. That's the difference. And this is what their big share was always meant to do. Not overwhelm you with emotion, but awaken you into clarity. Now here's something subtle, but powerful. Their truth may come in a way that feels almost ordinary. A simple conversation, a quiet moment, a sentence that doesn't try to impress, but lands deeply. And in that instant, you won't react the way you once would have. You won't overthink it. You won't question its timing. You'll understand it. And that understanding becomes your strength. Because for the first time, you're not looking at this connection through expectation. You're seeing it through awareness. And awareness changes everything. Take a slow breath here. Because what you feel right now, this calm, grounded clarity, this quiet sense that something has finally aligned, this is what was waiting for you all along. Not the drama, not the confusion, but this stillness where everything makes sense, even if not everything is explained. And now, something even deeper unfolds. You realize, it was never about waiting for them to become ready. It was about you becoming clear. Clear enough to receive truth without distortion. Clear enough to see reality without illusion. Clear enough to move forward, without carrying the weight of what if. Let that settle inside you. Because this is the transformation. Not loud, Not sudden, but undeniable. And here's the final realization. Their truth didn't change your world. It revealed it. It showed you what was always there, beneath the noise, beneath the waiting, beneath the uncertainty. And now that you've seen it, you're no longer the same person who started this journey. You're someone who understands, someone who feels, without confusion, someone who sees, without needing to search. Before you move on, there's something worth doing, not out of habit, but from this place of clarity. If this journey resonated with you, if a part of you felt seen, or understood in a way you didn't expect, you can share that feeling, or express it in your own words. And if you choose to stay connected to more moments like this, you already know what to do. Now stay with this final thought, because it's the one that completes everything. What your soulmate had to share was never meant to control how you feel. It was meant to free how you feel. And from this moment forward, you don't just carry their truth, you carry your own. Clear, steady, unshaken, and quietly, everything has changed. Just when you think everything has settled, notice this: something is still unfolding, gently, almost invisibly. Because truth doesn't end when it's revealed. It continues, it expands, it reshapes how you move forward, step by step. And right now, you are in that continuation. Look closely at what has changed within you. Not the obvious things, not the surface emotions, but the deeper shift. The way you no longer feel pulled in different directions. The way your thoughts feel, quieter, clearer, as if something inside you has finally stopped searching, and started knowing. That's not a small change, that's a transformation. And here's where it becomes even more powerful. Your soulmate, whether they realize it fully or not, can feel this shift in you too. Energy speaks in ways words never can. And when your energy becomes steady, grounded in understanding, it creates space. Space for honesty, space for connection, space for something real to exist without pressure. Pause here for a moment, because this is the part most people overlook. They think the big truth is the final destination, but it's not. It's the beginning of a different kind of connection, one that is no longer built on guessing, but on clarity. And clarity changes how everything flows. Now imagine this. A moment arrives again, maybe unexpectedly. A message, a conversation, a shared silence. But this time, you don't enter it with questions. You enter it with presence. You're not trying to figure them out anymore. You're simply there. And in that presence, something new forms. Not forced, not rushed, but natural. Because when two people meet without confusion, they don't need to explain everything. They just understand. Take a breath. Because this is where your power truly reveals itself. Not in controlling the outcome, but in how you hold your awareness. You've moved from uncertainty into quiet confidence. From waiting into allowing. From wondering into knowing. And that shift, it changes what comes next. Because now, whatever unfolds between you and your soulmate, it will no longer feel like a mystery you're trying to solve. It will feel like a path you're consciously walking, step by step, with clarity guiding you instead of doubt. And here's the final layer. The part that stays with you even after this moment fades. This entire experience wasn't just about them revealing something to you. It was about you remembering something within yourself. Your ability to sense truth, to trust timing, to see beyond surface moments. And once you reconnect with that, you don't lose it again. So as you move forward from here, carry this awareness quietly. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to chase answers. Because when you're aligned with clarity, the right things don't need to be forced. They arrive, naturally, effortlessly, at the exact moment they're meant to. And maybe, just maybe, that moment is already closer than you think. So don't rush ahead. Let things unfold. Because now, you're not waiting for something to happen. You're witnessing it, as it begins. And now, notice this, something even more subtle is beginning to reveal itself, not around you, but through you. Because after everything that has unfolded, after the truth, the clarity, the quiet alignment, there is still one final shift, a deeper one, the kind that doesn't announce itself, but changes the way you exist within your own life. Pause here. Feel the difference between who you were and who you are becoming. Not in dramatic ways, but in the small, almost invisible choices. The way you no longer rush to react. The way you no longer feel the need to chase certainty. The way